Hi, happy Harvest Festival. So I'm Rich and I'm a farmer from Buckinghamshire. So for a lot of people, Harvest Festival means hymns and who's got the biggest marrow. But for me, it's about appreciating the whole growing cycle and actually the fact that in this country we can grow a lot of the food that we eat. So for a lot of countries, food is a real issue, and we're lucky in this country that there's plentiful food and not many people have to go hungry. So I think Harvest Festival is really about appreciating where the food has come from and the fact that we have lots of great food. So this year we haven't had brilliant growing conditions for our crops. The actual quantity and the quality of our grain is far worse than I've seen before. And that is because we had a really wet autumn and a really wet winter followed by a really dry spring. So that wasn't ideal for the crops we're growing. But we actually need to be really thankful because at least we haven't had locusts like they've had in East Africa, we haven't had the hurricanes that they've had in Iowa, and we haven't had the droughts that they've had in Yemen. So this country, we're really lucky that we've managed to grow a lot of the fruit and veg that we need to, even though the yields haven't been as good as other years. So let's rewind for a minute, because harvest is just the end of a year's work. So take the spring barley for example. So this was planted in March, and then it grew on through April, May, June, July and August, thus caring for it the whole way before we combined it. So the good thing about this barley is not only can we feed the barley to our cattle next year to create beef, but we also keep the straw and use it for bedding. So this straw gets baled up and put down for the cattle to lay on during the winter, and then during the summer we can then take that straw out that's now covered in muck and we can spread it on the fields to recycle the nutrients, so we have to use less fertiliser. Another crop we grow on the farm is wheat, and this usually goes off to make bread. But this year, with such rubbish growing conditions, it might not actually make the quality conditions needed. So it might have to go off to feed pigs, cattle and chickens. But what I love about growing wheat is I can do the whole process at home. So I've brought myself a little flour mill so I can take the wheat straight from our shed and mill it into flour and then make our own wholemeal bread, which tastes fantastic. So I feel extremely lucky to be a farmer, not just because I get the job satisfaction of planting something and watching it grow, but because we get to live and work in these stunning locations, and we get to work and live with nature and wildlife. So we've got a huge amount to be thankful for this Harvest Festival, and I'm just going to leave you with some of the highlights of this summer. Cheers!